Thank you. And now, Ms. Hamilton-Brown, you have a minute and a half for your rebuttal.
Thank you. I agree with Ed's statement. As we are traveling on this campaign trail together, we're getting to know each other and, in fact, can finish each other's sentences. And we agree on a lot of things. But this is a debate, and we are here to define the differences. So as Ed talks about his record and his work, I think it's important for all of us to know that he sought 3 offices in 3 years. He wanted to be the county auditor, but that position was eliminated when the charter was changed. And after opposing Issue 6, he began running for that office just a few weeks after that. The county executive office is the only office that I want. This is my first time seeking public office, and the county executive office is the office that I will do. It is the job that I want. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'd like to ask a couple of questions of each of you, and if you could try to hold your answers to a minute, that would be great. I think you both actually came in under time on your 8 minutes. So let me first go to Terry Hamilton-Brown. I think a part of your appeal to folks is that you're not a politician or haven't been a politician until this election. Yet the job that you are seeking is a very political job. To doing it, if you're elected, you're going to have to deal with 11 independently elected council candidates, and having interviewed all, or many of the 90 plus at this point, many of them have some very strong ideas about what they want to see happen. You'll also have to sell your ideas to 59 municipalities with their own mayors, managers, and councils, and to a public of 1.3 million people. How do you transfer the skills that have made you so effective in the jobs you've done up until now, which have often been behind-the-scenes jobs, onto this larger stage?
While this is my first time seeking elected office, I am no stranger to politics or the political system. So, as I worked in the Department of Community Development, it was for a city that was 500,000 people in size, and I negotiated with 21 council people at that time, very effectively approving the block grant dollars and budget and getting many projects, very large-scale development projects approved. Additionally, as president of University Circle Incorporated, we had a board of over 100 people and an executive committee of nearly 50. I believe it's very analogous to working with 59 different separate municipalities. And again, I was able to be very effective. So when I say I'm not a politician, I have no bones against politics or politicians. I'm saying that I bring fresh perspective and business principles and a track record of success, and I believe that's what's needed in the first county executive.
Great, thank you. Mayor Fitzgerald, long before the current scandals, and despite the presence of many dedicated public servants and terrific programs, like something like Healthy Start comes to mind, Cuyahoga County government had a reputation as a hiring hall, a place where the friends and relatives of politicians and political insiders could get jobs. One of the things I've heard repeatedly in the endorsement interviews from the candidates as well as citizens who said they hope that what we have now is a government that it's not who you know, it's what you know. But you're the endorsed candidate of the Democratic Party and of the FLCIO, which has been very close to it. If you change the culture, you may not make some of the people who are supporting you in this election very happy. How do you intend to deal with those pressures and move forward in the way that you've promised?
Sure. In my opinion, there's actually 3 major parties in this county. There is the Democratic Party, there's the Republican Party, and there's another party of people who were out for themselves. And some of the government officials and folks that had public contracts were not really interested in public service at all. And they have been the source of all of the scandal and all of the problems. And unfortunately, they have cast a pall over the entire workforce there, including people that have dedicated their entire lives to providing first-class service. I'm going to do the same thing that I did as mayor. You have to come in with the attitude that you are going to do what's right, and if that means you lose some friends along the way, they probably were people that shouldn't have been your friends in the first place. And I have a record of making government more efficient. My city has 20% fewer personnel than when I got there. You don't make friends doing that, but if you can become more efficient, that's what you need to do, and you need to have the integrity to stick to that, and I will.
Great. Thank you. I'm going to go one question I want to ask of both of you, and we'll go first to Mayor Fitzgerald on this one. There's a lot of talk, again, when we would do endorsement interviews for various officials and offices, people come in and they would like to talk about shared services. They even talk a little, if they go off the record, about consolidation. But what you always hear is there's political inertia. You can't really, we'd like to do this, but we can't because it's so hard to do it. You, however, are coming in at a different time, perhaps. There's a new structure, a new bully pulpit, a new beginning for Cuyahoga County. How do you break the inertia and move us toward perhaps a more sensible regional approach to our problems?
Well, I think people are ready to do something different. You have to take the crisis as an opportunity. And there is going to be a unique window of time. It's going to close probably quickly, but there's going to be a window of time where we can do things differently. The good thing also is that all of these 59 different municipalities all are in fiscal distress of one kind or another. One of the things I'm very proud of as mayor is we recently built a coalition between 14 separate municipalities, including the city of Cleveland, inner-ring suburbs, and the Port Authority, to try to have an alternative energy improvement district. And that took a lot of negotiating. The city of Lakewood proposed it. We took advantage of some state law that was out there. We built a coalition with the city of Cleveland, these other cities. We got the Port Authority to provide a financing mechanism, and it's going to result in alternatives for both businesses and homeowners to make their properties more energy efficient. That kind of model can be replicated over and over again at the countywide level if the county seizes that as part of its leadership mission. Great.
Ms. Hamilton-Brown, how do you break the inertia? How do you move us?
Well, I agree that this is a unique moment, and I believe all of the cities are losing population, we're all losing jobs, and that it's no longer just the city having problems, but throughout the county. So it creates this unique opportunity, and the county, through the executive and the new team, would be able to offer suggestions on where we can share services, where we could collaborate and find greater efficiencies and help others to have a greater savings, whether it's facilities planning and maintenance, whether it's countywide land use planning, maybe even solid waste management. Aside from that, I believe what we really have to move forward, aside from those exacting specific cases, it's to build a shared vision for our 59 municipalities. And I believe we would be able to do that. And that will move us towards more shared services and collaboration, a shared vision.
Thank you. Let me ask you one more, and I'll ask you to be very brief with your answers on this as well. We'll go first with Terry this time. I'm sorry, Ms. Hamilton-Brown. You both point to an experience on your resume that you say is critical to the task at hand. Ms. Hamilton-Brown, it would be going to CMHA and the very similar sort of situations where your predecessor was in trouble with the law. You had a demoralized agency with a reputation for inefficiency. Mayor, you talk about when you went to Lakewood and you walked into a situation where you had a budget deficit that you had to deal with and had to reorganize a government that had been basically staffed by the person who you took the place of, who you defeated for election. What did each of you learn from this experience, maybe even from a mistake you made in the course of dealing with those problems, that will guide you and give you some, as you move forward and try to take on this new task as county executive?